The world watches with bated breath as every headline and news bulletin brings a fresh wave of anxiety. Global tensions are escalating at an alarming rate, with military maneuvers and civil unrest becoming increasingly common sights. From the battlefields of Ukraine, where cities lie in ruins, to the volatile Middle East, where decades-old conflicts continue to rage, the threat of a wider conflict looms large. The key players in this high-stakes game of geopolitical chess are well known. The United States and its NATO allies, a resurgent Russia flexing its military muscle, and an increasingly assertive China, expanding its influence and military capabilities across the globe. Regional conflicts, often fueled by historical grievances and competing ambitions, further complicate the picture, making the global landscape even more precarious. The specter of World War III, once a distant nightmare relegated to history books, has crept back into the collective consciousness, haunting the minds of many. The stakes could not be higher, as the potential for catastrophic consequences grows with each passing day. A global conflict in the 21st century, particularly one involving nuclear-armed states, would have catastrophic consequences for humanity, altering the course of history forever. Understanding the complexities of these interconnected crises is essential for navigating the turbulent waters of international relations and ensuring global security. Diplomacy and dialogue are more crucial than ever. The world is grappling with the most serious security crisis since the end of the Cold War, a time when the threat of global conflict was a constant shadow. The post-Cold War order, characterized by American dominance and relative stability, is crumbling, giving way to a new and uncertain era. In its place, a new era of great power competition is emerging, one marked by uncertainty, mistrust, and the potential for miscalculation. The world stands on the edge, hoping for peace, but preparing for the worst. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 sent shockwaves across the international community, reverberating through political, economic, and social spheres globally. It marked a turning point in European security, shattering decades of relative peace and stability that many had taken for granted. The conflict has not only resulted in a devastating humanitarian crisis, with millions displaced and countless lives lost, but has also exposed the fault lines in the international system, challenging the existing world order. The West, led by the United States, condemned the invasion and imposed crippling sanctions on Russia, aiming to isolate Moscow economically and politically. However, these measures have failed to deter Moscow from pursuing its objectives in Ukraine, as the conflict continues to escalate with no clear end in sight. The conflict has also highlighted the crucial role of NATO, which has bolstered its military presence in Eastern Europe in response to Russian aggression, demonstrating a renewed commitment to collective defense and deterrence. The Middle East remains a tinderbox of geopolitical tensions, a region where historical grievances and modern-day politics intersect. Long-standing conflicts, religious differences, and competition for resources continue to fuel instability in the region. These issues are deeply rooted and often intertwined, making solutions complex and elusive. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, despite decades of international efforts, remains unresolved. The frequent clashes in the Gaza Strip and ongoing tensions in the West Bank highlight the enduring nature of this conflict. The rise of extremist groups like ISIS has further complicated the situation. Their presence has led to widespread destruction and has drawn international military interventions. Iran's nuclear ambitions have also been a major source of concern for the international community. The potential for nuclear proliferation in such a volatile region raises significant security fears. The 2015 nuclear deal, which aimed to curb Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief, has been in jeopardy since the United States withdrew from the agreement in 2018. This withdrawal has led to increased tensions and uncertainty. Tensions between Iran and Israel, as well as its Gulf Arab neighbors, remain high. These rivalries are not just political, but also have deep-seated historical and religious dimensions, making the path to peace even more challenging. The Asia-Pacific region is also witnessing heightened tensions. China's growing economic and military might has raised concerns among its neighbors, particularly Taiwan. Beijing views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has vowed to reunify it with the mainland, by force if necessary. North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missile programs continue to pose a serious threat to regional and global security. Pyongyang has conducted a series of missile tests in recent years, defying international sanctions and condemnation. The Korean Peninsula remains one of the most dangerous flashpoints in the world.